Out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. And watch the slant.
Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Chidobe Awuzie.
Second and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
To throw is Fitzpatrick. That's caught by the Notre Dame man. It's Durham Smythe. He's at the 30. 10. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Durham Smythe, 75 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23.
Check 3, check 3, check 3.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Here's Elliott. In on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Prescott on 3rd and 2. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. The 30. Past the 20. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Michael Gallup, 69 yards, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found the seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. A 1st down throw for Fitzpatrick. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith.
Offensively, when you see cover two, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll go down at the 28. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Where's 52? Block 52. 52, quick. Switch.
They'll get 5 on the dump-off there, and that'll lead to a third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down. So on fourth down, on comes the Dallas kicker, Brett Maher. This from 42 yards out. The kick by Maher is good. And they take the lead here as it's now 9-6. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Running, it's Drake. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Fitzpatrick. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 45-yard line.
That's another Dolphins first down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. After 1, our score 9-6.
Let's go!
Dolphins 6.
Mike 20! Mike 54! Logan John!
On 1st and 10, Fitzpatrick. Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
All
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Mike's by 4, Mike's by 4, Mike's by 4. Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's get off the field.
5.
50.
Throwing again. Fitzpatrick. This taken in by Jakeem Grant. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 30.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Mike 54. Here we go.
Yo, kill!
Mike 54. Mike.
The throw again, Fitzpatrick. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Right there.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
I got him.
To throw again. Fitzpatrick. He sets to fire. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Albert Wilson, 30 yards. And the Dolphins are going to jump back in front. And the defensive there, that was a battle. He just made a really nice play.
A really nice play, making sure his body position was correct. And how about the throw? Zipped it in there.
And it results in the touchdown. So now the Dolphin offense will stay out there as they'll go for 2. To the air again, Fitzpatrick. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
26.
On 2nd and 7, Prescott going right side. He has Winton. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here we go. Slide in.
In your face. Check safety, check safety. Check.
26.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. That one complete to Elliott. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Jakeem Grant back deep for Miami.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive.
Strip the ball.
They'll start the drive with Dre. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. To throw on 2nd and 6. Fitzpatrick looking middle, and it's incomplete. Albert Wilson, the intended receiver there, and it's 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A gain of 22.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Both north of 20 yards. This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Again, it's Fitzpatrick. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And down to the 16-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And it'll be intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess that in the locker room, they talked about cleaning up some of the errors. But overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Kill.
To throw is Prescott. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Hey, kill. 47.
The pressure drops off as they look to throw. And on the left side, he's got Witten. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Mike 54. Blue Dan.
Wait.
Mike 54.
Now Fitzpatrick. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Left.
To throw, Fitzpatrick. And that is incomplete. Anthony Brown right there to knock it away.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Good work after the catch. Going to net them 23 and a first. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll run with Elliott. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Yeah. Watch safety 3. Watch safety 3.
10th carry now for Elliott. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
We got this.
A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy 1st down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They try and run on 1st down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the Dolphins' 28-yard line.
Check 52 is the money. You're right.
This is Elliott. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Let's go. Tie it right. 4 down. Check 50.
Kill.
52.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Complete to Jason Witten. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Now Elliott, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. An 8-yard touchdown run, and the Cowboys have once again taken the lead. And they drew up the counter there. It worked. They're glad they drew up the counter.
And a lot of times what you're trying to do is just simply get the defense moving in one direction. It doesn't take much. Even 1 step's enough. Get them going in one direction and then cut back against the grain and let your running back finish it off and get the work done.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Here we go. Regular. Field. Slam.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
So now after the sack, 3rd and long, and Fitzpatrick and company a little work to do. 3rd and long for Ryan Fitzpatrick. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Fitzpatrick. And no, it's incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away. Well, they've got the slim deficit, decided to go for it, hoping to keep the football score and erase that deficit. But, boy, deep in their own territory like that.
Let's just say that with that call, me and the head coach will agree to disagree. All right, but he knew he wanted to be aggressive there, as you pointed out. So I guarantee he told his defensive coordinator, have your guys up and ready. I'm going to go for it here. If we don't get it, just make sure they're ready to go out there and bail us out.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 18-yard line.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10.
6-man. Check. Going to 53. Back. Safe.
Out of the gun, it's Elliott. It'll be a minimum pickup, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Prescott. And it's caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. From 6 yards away. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face, and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a two-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
52 and 56, 52 and 56.
They stay on the ground with Drake. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Completes it to the tight end, Smythe. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run with Drake. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Right 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Right back to Drake. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. And with that, we sign off from Miami.